My name is Stephen Duncan. I'm from Harlem, and I am known as the Bubble Man because my business is all things bubbles. Big, small, wide, short, tall, all colors, whether it glistens, whether it pops, I love them. For me, there's something wondrous about a bubble. I suppose you could compare it to, say, a flower in nature. When you see, the morning dew, on the sunrise, when you see a rainbow in the sky, when you see clouds, it just fills you with a sense of awe, the sense of wonder, the sense of amazement. That's what a bubble does to me. I feel like all is well with the world, all is well with me and myself. I guess some people could compare it to when people meditate, when people listen to music, when people run, when people sing or dance. It brings you a sense of calmness, whether you're listening to it, whether you're watching it, whether you're engaged in it, whatever makes you feel like the weight's off your shoulders. That's what bubbles do for me. When I make them, I feel like I'm just like the bubble. I'm free. I'm just out there. No worries, no problems, no concerns, just freedom. When I see little kids, everyone from toddlers to grade schoolers to teenagers, even college students, when I see them interacting with the bubbles, I feel a sense of satisfaction, knowing that I'm bringing joy and wonder and glee. For some, it might be their first time seeing a bubble, and for some, it might take them back to a time when they were younger. Whatever the feeling may be, to be able to bring that to the forefront and see, their faces light up, watch them laugh and smile and just run around without a care in the world. Like the feeling, like when a kid opens, their birthday gifts or their Christmas presents, and they're like, you see that light in their eyes, And I see that in the faces of kids all the time. It makes you feel, just amazing. Really truly amazing. I can't, I don't know any other way to put it. Just at the end of the day, when you feel as though, did you do something great? You can look at yourself and say, yeah, mission accomplished. I brought another kid, into, into a sense of amusement. You feel good, for later on. There is one moment that's always stuck out in my head. I remember I was in Battery Park City, out in the field, making bubbles, and there was this little girl. She had to be probably 2 years old. She was sitting down and she was looking at the bubbles, and all of a sudden she stood up and she started walking towards it. And I hear in the background, the mother is excited. She's saying, "Somebody get a picture. She's walking. She's walking for the first time." She's walking. Get a picture of this. I was like, oh my gosh. I just helped a kid make her first steps by chasing my bubbles. That moment was just, awe-inspiring. It was, one of those most momentous occasions. I remember coming home and just thinking, wow. I can't believe what just happened, what just transpired today. That moment has stuck with me for a very long time. I've never really had an activity like this where not only do I have fun, but people around me are having fun as well. I think something is really special when you can include the surrounding community in what you do. You don't have to sit back and watch. You can be involved. This is performance art that you can touch, that you can play with, you can share with your friends, you can share with your kids. People have come to me as years have gone by, and they said, I remember you from all those years ago. I remember the effect that your bubbles had on me. It's great to see you. To be able to leave that impression on someone is, you can't put it into words. It's great. It makes you feel really, really good. At the end of the day, you feel like you're leaving, job well done, can't wait to do it again. I'm not gonna lie, the money is a big part of what I do, but honestly, even without the money, I would probably still go out and make bubbles anyway. I've gone out on some days and where I only made $5. I've gone out on some days when I made over $300. The difference is, on both those days, I have no regrets. I don't care if it's $5. I don't care if it's a quarter. The point is that it's more than I had when I came out. For other people, they look at this as more of a hustle. This is how I pay for my habit. This is how I make my money on the side. I don't have to work a regular job. This is an easy way to make money. Requires little effort. If you walk out with that mentality, you're already missing the point of why you're there. People have come back to me and said, thank you so much. You are providing a vital resource to this community. What you do is wonderful. What you do is very important. You are very important for being here. So that tells me that there's much more to this than just money. There are plenty of ways of making money. But if I can make someone's day in the process, why would I want to do anything else? The story of how I began, initially I was very, very nervous. A grown man playing with a bubble toy, in public. I was concerned about what people might think of me. It's like, oh, look at this guy over here playing with bubbles. You need to grow up. But I just loved it so much. There came a point where I just didn't care anymore. I would just, I would find a nice field or a nice place, and I just go out and just start making bubbles just for the sake of it. I literally did not expect anyone to give me money for what I was doing. That was not my expectation at all. One day I was by a kid's playground, and I just started making bubbles, and I got the response, that I get now. Kids would play with the bubbles, pop the bubbles, chase after them, and I was happy to bring that sense of joy to them, or that sense of curiosity. All the parents were looking at me like, "Wow, he's got their attention. They really like it." One of the parents comes up to me, pulls out $2 and gives it to me. Says, "Here, thanks for making, my son so happy." That's when the light went off. I was like, wait a minute. People will pay me to entertain their children with bubbles. This is perfect. That was when I knew, I think I've got something here. And what was especially satisfying was that this was something I wanted to do. I wasn't obliged. Nobody was forcing me. Nobody was pushing me to do this. I wanted to come out. I wanted to share the bubbles. I really wanted to do this. So I decided I was going to see how far I could take this. See if I could turn this into something more. And from that day on, I have never looked back. No regrets, no should've, would've, could've's. I'm invested in this for the long run. Even when I'm old and gray in my 60s or 70s, I'll probably still be doing this. Because that's how much I love this. That's the truth. If I had to stop tomorrow, I don't know what I'd do with myself. I'd probably cry. This is so much a part of me, such an integral part of my life now. I've been at this for so long. I've accomplished so many things. I've met so many wonderful people. I've had so many great experiences. Why would you stop for something when you have something that brings so much joy, so much peace, so much happiness, not just for yourself, but for other people? I can't stop, and I won't stop. You put any obstacle in front of me, I will find a way to jump over it and keep going. I feel that's the definition of what passion is. For a few years, the biggest pushback that I got sometimes wasn't from the public. It was often from the local park authorities who took exception to what I was doing. I remember I was down near the park at the South Ferry, and I was making my bubbles over there. Just another day. I was making a few tips and donations here and there. All of a sudden, I hear the sirens in the background. Two park police come up to me and say, "Sorry, dude, you're not allowed to do that here. Pack it up, go elsewhere." Almost immediately, all the crowd around me starts booing the officers. Boo! Boo! You guys, you're spoiled sports. You're messing up something great. And I felt honored. It's like, wow, they're actually they're sticking up for me. They ended up giving me extra money, putting extra money in my basket, even as I was packing up. They even helped me pack up. and say, hey, they may not appreciate you, but I do. Thanks a lot. Here's something for your trouble. The thing that keeps me going is the public. I know I have to keep going for them because they believe in me. They put their faith in me. In fact, they actually taught me to have faith in myself and have faith in what I'm doing. Throughout your life, you're going to have detractors. You're going to have people who are going to be disrespectful, people who are going to feel as though they can just step all over you, take you for granted, take advantage of you. Don't lower yourself to their level, because if you do, they win. And that takes away from you. I remember a video that was posted of me making bubbles several years ago. This girl responded, kind of cheeky. It was like, get a job, you lazy bum. So she emphasized bum in big bold letters. And my first thought was, you don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You don't know how I started. I just decided, you know what? She needs to be informed. She doesn't need to be scolded. And so I just kind of wrote a very heartfelt response to her. I said, hey, let me introduce myself. This is the guy in the video that you're mocking. I think before you pass judgment on a person you've never met, you need to understand how I got here and why I do this. And I went into a few details, talked about my experiences, some of my successes, the things I've been able to do, the doors that have been opened up to me because of this, the wonderful people I've met, the opportunities that have come my way, opportunities that probably few people will ever get in their lifetime. After all was said and done, I remember ending it with kind of an open-ended question. Does that sound like a bum to you? When push comes to shove, you got to stand up for yourself. Don't allow anybody to look down on you because of what you do. For all the people who think that I'm just some kind of clown working for tips, too lazy to hold down a job, I say walk a mile in my shoes. I'm sure that part of you can relate to what I'm doing or why I'm here. One of my best friends, he is a balloon artist. He literally makes, all sorts of things, anything you can think of with balloons. He's been doing it for over 20 years. And the opportunities that have come his way, amazing. He doesn't regret what he's doing. He's not one of those people who thinks, I could have been doing something better than this. I've learned how to have confidence in what I do by watching him. It's like whatever you do, if you sing, if you dance, if you write poetry, be the best, whatever it is you know how to be. Be the best performer. If you juggle, be the best juggler. And don't give a damn what anyone thinks. Because at the end of the day, or years from now, when you're accomplished and other people are looking towards you as an example, they're sitting down asking you, how did you do this? How did you get to where you are? You can say, I just started doing it and I didn't care. That's my philosophy. Do it because you want to do it. Don't care what anyone else thinks. If you're having fun, if it stirs your soul, if it makes you happy, if it brings you joy, brings you a sense of fulfillment, that's all you need. As the saying goes, when you're doing what you love, you will never work another day in your life. I haven't worked for 10 years.